I loved watching educational things. I'm in this big ass house in Los Angeles. My family, they're all in really nice houses in Miami.
With chart-smashing hits like What You Say, Talk Dirty, and Savage Love, Jason Derulo didn't just drop songs, he created cultural moments. A powerhouse vocalist, next-level dancer, and non-stop hitmaker, Jason didn't fade with time. Instead, he leveled up. In the social media era, he reinvented himself once again, becoming one of the most followed musicians on TikTok and proving he's always ahead of the curve. Now, step inside Jason Derulo's world, where chart-topping music meets polished marble floors and every beat echoes through a Florida mansion built to impress. This isn't just a house, it's a stage, a playground of luxury for a global superstar who turned rhythm into a fortune. Today, you'll get an inside look at how Jason lives, creates, and celebrates at the highest level. But before the spotlight hit the mansion walls, there was just a kid in Florida with a notebook full of lyrics, tiny stages, massive dreams, and a hunger that wouldn't quit. Long before the fame, the empire, and the millions, the grind had already begun. Jason Joel Derulo was born on September 21, 1989, in Miramar, Florida, to Haitian parents who brought with them culture, rhythm, and unshakable determination. His childhood home was small, but it was loud with Creole melodies and American pop blasting through the speakers. At just 8 years old, Jason wrote his first song, a simple scribble on paper that quietly hinted at a future no one could fully imagine. Music wasn't a pastime, it was his lifeline. While most teenagers were chasing weekends and school dances, Jason was already in recording studios, crafting songs for artists with platinum plaques on their walls. He wrote Bossy for Birdman, and his creativity flowed into tracks for Diddy, Danity Kane, Sean Kingston, Cassie, even Lil Wayne. His name wasn't on billboards yet, but his influence was everywhere. But raw talent wasn't enough. Jason knew that, so he doubled down on the grind. He enrolled in top performing arts schools, including the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, sharpening everything: his vocals, his movement, his stage presence. He hit the theater circuit too, performing in productions like Ragtime and Smokey Joe's Cafe, building the kind of discipline most pop stars never see. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 2006, a teenage Jason stepped onto the stage of Showtime at the Apollo and blew the roof off. He didn't just impress the crowd, he won the season finale's grand prize. Watching closely was producer J.R. Rotem, who signed him on the spot. That's when Jason Joel Derulo became Jason Derulo, a name built to echo through arenas. The breakout arrived in 2009 with What You Say, built around a haunting sample of Imogen Heap's Hide and Seek. The song entered the Billboard charts quietly at number 54, then exploded to number 1 within weeks. Overnight, the behind-the-scenes songwriter became the main event. Hit after hit followed. In My Head cracked the top 5. His debut album dropped bangers like Ridin' Solo, and by 2010, Jason was opening arenas for Lady Gaga, learning how to command massive crowds while the world learned his name. Money started rolling in, royalties, shows, brand deals, then everything stopped. In January 2012, while rehearsing for his Future History tour, Jason fractured a vertebra in his neck. Doctors told him he was one bad move away from paralysis. The tour was canceled. His career was suddenly on pause. For most artists, that's where the story ends. Jason refused to let it. He returned to American Idol, debuting Undefeated, a song he co-wrote with his fans. Instead of disappearing, he reinvented himself, turning pain into fuel. By 2013, he was back on top with The Other Side. A year later, Talk Dirty became a global phenomenon, climbing to number 3 and proving he was no one-hit wonder. Sold-out shows and a chart-dominating album followed, locking in his status as a true superstar. Jason Derulo wasn't just making music, he was performing at a level few could match, blending pop, R&B, and explosive dance like an old-school entertainer reborn. And he didn't stop there. He became a judge on So You Think You Can Dance in 2015, dropped Everything Is For with smash hits like Want to Want Me, and continued stacking platinum records in 2016. He crossed into acting too, appearing in Lethal Weapon and stealing scenes as Rum Tum Tugger in the 2019 film Cats. Then came the global takeover. Jason teamed up with David Guetta, Nicki Minaj, and Willie William on Goodbye. He linked with international stars and K-pop group NCT 127 on Let's Shut Up and Dance. He wasn't just topping US charts anymore, he was building a worldwide brand. When touring slowed, he leaned into TV. When injuries tried to derail him, he leaned into his fans. Every setback became momentum. Every obstacle became evolution. With over 250 million singles sold worldwide, Jason Derulo proved he's more than a hitmaker. With every chart topper and sold-out tour, success stopped being an idea and started turning into something you could touch, brick by brick, window by window. And to see what that success really looked like, we step inside one of the most important places Jason Derulo ever called home. Welcome to the Coconut Creek Mansion. The gates glide open, and the driveway winds past perfectly trimmed lawns and tall, swaying palms. Right away, it's clear. This isn't your typical suburban house. This feels like a private Mediterranean resort tucked away in South Florida. Built in 2009, the estate stretches across more than 11,500 square feet on 2.5 acres of land. With 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a detached guest house, and endless custom upgrades, this place was designed for privacy, luxury, and performance. But what truly set it apart was how Jason transformed it into his personal creative sanctuary. A space where music, movement, and memories collided. Step through the arched double doors and the statement is immediate. Sky-high ceilings, gleaming Italian marble floors, and white columns frame an expansive living room made for impact. Floor-to-ceiling windows pour in Florida sunshine, lighting up soft neutral tones and classic Mediterranean curves. It's grand, but never cold. A space where collaborators gathered and global hits first came to life. The kitchen? That's the heartbeat of the house. Polished granite countertops shine under warm pendant lights, wrapping around custom wood cabinetry. Sub-zero appliances stand ready like instruments in a studio. Around the long dining table, late-night writing sessions unfolded. Lyrics scribbled between bites, laughter blending with melodies. This is where Want to Want Me took shape, proving the kitchen wasn't just functional, it was fuel for creativity. Upstairs, the home opens into a world that feels more like a 5-star hotel than a private residence. The primary suite spills out onto a private balcony overlooking the pool, while the spa-style bathroom features marble walls and a freestanding tub fit for unwinding after long studio nights. Other bedrooms evolved with Jason's lifestyle. One became a mirrored dance studio for tour rehearsals. Another transformed into a guest recording space. Inside, a media and game room hosted friends and collaborators, while the garage became a personal gym packed with boxing gear, treadmills, and free weights. For Jason, this wasn't just a house, it was a training ground, a creative lab, where music and movement stayed locked in rhythm. Step outside, and it feels like vacation mode kicks in instantly. The backyard is pure resort energy. An oversized pool, raised spa, cascading waterfall, and a stone deck lined with lounge chairs. Towering palm trees frame the space, creating an oasis that doubled as the setting for legendary pool parties. At night, underwater lights turned the pool into liquid glass, reflecting the energy of gatherings that went long past midnight. Jason bought the mansion in 2012 for $1.75 million and customized it to match his lifestyle and flow. When he listed it in 2015 for $2.9 million, it instantly became one of South Florida's most talked-about properties. The home eventually sold in 2016 for $1.95 million. Then, the highest sale in the area. While Jason has since moved on to California, this Coconut Creek estate remains a defining chapter in his journey. It's where the music was written, the dance moves were perfected, and ambition finally found walls, a roof, and a stage of its own. Encino Hills Mansion. High above Ventura Boulevard, Jason Derulo's Encino Hills estate feels like a breath between beats. Bought in 2022 for $3.6 million, this home isn't about showing off. It's about stepping back and seeing everything clearly. Tucked away at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, the house looks out over sweeping 180-degree views of the San Fernando Valley. By day, the sky shifts through soft blues and golds. By night, the city lights spread out below like a field of stars. The architecture blends naturally into the hillside. Warm earth tones, layered terraces, and glass balconies that seem to float above the slope. On the main level, floor-to-ceiling glass erases the line between indoors and outdoors. Sunlight pours across granite floors and clean, modern lines, giving the open living spaces an effortless flow. The kitchen follows the same philosophy, quietly refined. Sleek cabinetry, a wide island, and minimalist finishes open into the dining and lounge areas. This is a home built for closeness, not crowds. Quiet mornings, deep conversations, dinners shared with a tight inner circle. Spanning 5,600 square feet, the residence includes 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms, each designed with intention. The primary suite steals focus with an entire wall of glass, pulling the valley right into the room. A walk-in closet feels more like a high-end boutique, while the bathroom skips flashy excess in favor of calm sophistication, smooth stone walls, a glass-enclosed shower, and views that remind you the world is still there, even when you unplug. A sweeping spiral staircase leads to a flexible loft suite above. With its own bathroom, closet, and private balcony, it shifts easily between guest space, home office, or music studio. A quiet perch where melodies can form far from the city's noise. Outside, the pool and spa shimmer under the sun with a pebble-tech finish. Stone terraces cascade downward into private seating nooks, while a discreet outdoor shower blends into the design. Luxury here is balanced by function. A 5-car garage with EV charging, generous storage, and a layout designed to adapt as life changes. This is a home meant not just to live in, but to grow with. If Coconut Creek was Jason's arena, loud, social, electric, Encino Hills is his sanctuary. A place for reflection, calm, and clarity. Together, they show two sides of the same journey. Car collection. Step outside Jason Derulo's mansion, and the story keeps rolling, this time on 4 wheels. His garage holds just as much personality as his home's. Cadillac Escalade. Before the supercars arrived, there was the Cadillac Escalade, Jason's first true power move. With its commanding presence and unmistakable chrome grille, the Escalade has long stood as a symbol of American dominance on the road. Under the hood sits a 6.2-liter V8 pushing 420 horsepower, giving the massive SUV a ride that's smooth, confident, and unbothered. Jason once described driving it home after late-night studio sessions in LA as feeling like sitting on a throne, relaxed, grounded, and in control. Collaborators often filled the back seats, listening to unreleased tracks through the Escalade's 36-speaker sound system. Worth around $100,000, it became his rolling headquarters, representing stability, status, and everyday luxury. Lamborghini Huracan. Once global hits locked in his place at the top, Jason rewarded himself with something louder, a neon green Lamborghini Huracan. This wasn't just a car, it was a statement. Its 5.2-liter V10 engine delivers 602 horsepower, rocketing from 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. Jason first took the wheel after returning from a European tour. unleashing its roar down Sunset Boulevard as heads turned in every direction. Friends say riding shotgun feels like a roller coaster. Heart-pounding, bass-dropping, pure adrenaline. Now valued at over $250,000, the Huracan captures Jason's fearless side. Bold, fast, and impossible to ignore. Rolls Royce Cullinan. If the Lamborghini represents chaos and speed, the Rolls Royce Cullinan is quiet power. Finished in pristine white, this ultra-luxury SUV doesn't shout, it commands respect. A 6.75-liter twin-turbo V12 produces 563 horsepower, yet the ride is nearly silent, gliding through streets like it's floating. Jason debuted the Cullinan at a music video premiere, stepping out as the iconic suicide doors opened, turning a rival into performance. Inside, champagne chilled in the mini-fridge as friends and fellow stars cruised through Beverly Hills. With a price tag north of $350,000. The Cullinan isn't just transportation, it's proof of evolution, from a kid in Miramar to a global icon. Each vehicle in Jason Derulo's collection plays like a track on the soundtrack of his life. These aren't just cars, they're stories forged in metal, horsepower, and ambition, where music meets the open road. Income and net worth. $500,000. That's what Jason Derulo once revealed he could earn for a single performance. $500,000 for just a few hours on stage. And when you zoom out, that number starts to make perfect sense. Today, Jason Derulo's net worth is estimated at around $16 million, built through a non-stop engine of music, touring, business deals, and social media. An empire that generates roughly $12 to $15 million a year. It all started with music. His debut single, What You Say, exploded worldwide, selling millions and putting his voice everywhere overnight. Hits like Talk Dirty and Wiggle followed, turning him into a global pop staple. Then came 2020 and Savage Love. The song dominated the internet, crossed 1 billion streams on Spotify, and proved that in the streaming era, a viral anthem can become a long-term royalty machine. But the real money came from touring. With ticket sales, merchandise, and VIP experiences, Jason turned the stage into his financial foundation. Every world tour pulled in millions, cementing his reputation as a reliable, high-demand performer who could fill arenas night after night. While others treated TikTok as a side hustle, Jason turned it into a business. Today, he commands over 66 million followers on TikTok, 147 million on Instagram, and 25 million on YouTube. Every post became monetizable. A single TikTok could earn him $75,000, while major brand sponsorships climbed as high as $1.2 million. Dance challenges, humor, and consistency turned viral moments into real income. Behind the scenes, Jason showed another side, the investor. He spread his earnings across more than a dozen ventures, including a notable stake in Rocket Car Wash, a company valued near $2 billion. That one investment alone has the potential to out-earn his music catalog. Add in a self-help book, sing your name out loud, fashion collaborations, and even sports ownership, and his income streams stretch far beyond entertainment. Acting and television rounded out the portfolio. From his role in Cats, 2019, to judging So You Think You Can Dance, to endorsement deals, each move added both exposure and revenue to an already diversified empire. Jason Derulo may not be a billionaire, but every dollar tells a story. A voice that launched a career, tours that filled stadiums, TikToks that turned attention into profit, and investments that secured his future. Philanthropy. With success came responsibility, and Jason never ignored it. For him, giving back started at home. In 2018, alongside his mother Joyce, he founded the Just For You Foundation in honor of his late grandmother, Mama Luca. The mission was simple but powerful. Create opportunities for children and families through education, housing, and healthcare. The foundation's first Heart of Haiti Gala raised nearly $600,000, supporting schools and orphan programs, with a long-term goal of $2 million. Deeply connected to his Haitian roots, Jason made sure this wasn't just symbolic. It was hands-on, meaningful support. In 2019, he brought that mission to Los Angeles, personally leading the assembly of 2,000 backpacks for underserved students. Partnering with organizations like Vera Bradley, Blessings in a Backpack, and Kids in Need, he also pledged weekend meals for 50 children throughout the school year. This wasn't just about supplies, it was about dignity. Jason supported Make-A-Wish Foundation, joined TikTok-led fundraisers, and backed the Save the Music Foundation, helping bring instruments back into public schools. He lent his voice and presence to major charity events, including the Carousel of Hope Ball for Diabetes Research, the MI Charitable Foundation Summer Concert that raised $440,000, and the Project Phoenix Concert for Ukraine in 2022. Even small moments mattered. In 2017, a simple Facebook challenge helped him raise $25,000 for saving our daughters, proving that impact doesn't require a massive stage. Internationally, Jason supported Pencils of Promise, helping build schools in Malawi, and donated to organizations like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and the American Red Cross. His causes span ALS, Parkinson's, lupus research, and anti-bullying initiatives, each one reflecting a belief in resilience and shared responsibility. Jason Derulo's philanthropy mirrors his music, energetic, heartfelt, and built for longevity. Because for him, wealth isn't measured only in millions earned, but in lives uplifted, opportunities created, and futures changed by giving back. After giving so much to the world, Jason Derulo now returns to what matters most: family, routine, and the life he's building today. At the center of it all is his son, Jason King, born in 2021 with model Gina Frooms. Though the couple split just months later, fatherhood reshaped Jason's priorities. Mornings now revolve around bedtime stories instead of after-parties, and the moments he guards most are the simple ones: playing in the yard, sharing laughs over cartoons, and quiet walks together. Jason's past relationships, including a 3-year run with singer Jordan Sparks, are part of his story. But these days he keeps his personal life private, choosing peace over headlines. Routine anchors him. Fitness remains non-negotiable. Weight training, basketball on his court, and long sessions that keep him tour-ready. Afternoons are spent in the studio, crafting hooks, recording demos, and planning visuals. Even his TikToks, though they look effortless, are carefully planned. For Jason, content creation is business, not a hobby. Travel still fills his calendar. His King album carried him across the globe in 2024, but every trip ends back in Los Angeles, where he reconnects with family, friends, and the comfort of everyday routines. Flights and hotel nights become creative time, writing lyrics, reading, and refining ideas for film and production. Offstage, his pleasures are simple: long drives with unfamiliar playlists, personal growth books, short meditation sessions. Wellness and gratitude, he says, keep him grounded. Jason Derulo may still command the spotlight, but it's the quiet moments, raising his son, staying disciplined, and exploring new ideas that define him now. His life today reflects balance, grounded, focused, and always evolving. Jason Derulo's journey proves that real success isn't one-dimensional. It's built on talent, sharpened by discipline, and anchored by family and purpose. Hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back with more stories of icons who inspire and redefine what it means to live at the top. Until then, stay inspired.